everybody. Hope you are doing well. Just wanted to share an update from today. I had actually a wonderful day. Started with going to placement, everything went well there. I finished up the business plan lesson. So the girls have learned all 9 steps of a business plan and they are preparing to present on Wednesday during our Grill and Give event where we're inviting all the volunteers from the THE program to the site so that they have an opportunity to view our facilities and meet some of the girls. With the hopes, of course, that they're going to give a little bit back or purchase some of the items that the girls make. So, looking forward to that. I figured out a way out of baking the cake. I mentioned that on Friday we had a new volunteer, an older woman named Barbara, who's going to be working with us. So I just whispered in her ear today, I'm like, "Do you bake?" And she said, "Yes." I was like, "Perfect." So she has agreed to bake the cake with the girls. So we're going to actually do that tomorrow. So I still purchased all of the materials. So that's my contribution. And the other 2 volunteers also chipped in for some of the materials. And then Barbara's going to lead the girls in baking cakes. And hopefully the cakes come out really good. And we can actually sell slices to the volunteers when they come on Wednesday. So it could be um, dual purpose. So once I was done at placement today, came back here, had lunch, and there is a home for children with disabilities that I've heard some of the other volunteers talk about that I've been wanting to go to and just been trying to coordinate with other volunteers is difficult at times, especially because I'm in the hotel and most of the volunteers live in the volunteer house, so I don't necessarily have the relationship with them that they have with each other. So they schedule things around each other. And, even if I schedule something with someone, oftentimes they'll cancel because someone from their house wants to do it on another day or they want to do something with a housemate, which is understandable. But because I have so few days left here, I was like, no, I'm definitely going to just do it today. So I reached out to the driver from the Moshi tour over the weekend, and he agreed to take me there. He's familiar with the address of the place, so he took me over there. Before I went, I reached out just to confirm that it was okay to go over today and asked, like, what is there anything in particular that I need to know or that I should bring? And my timing, God's timing, was perfect because they said they actually have no oil left in order to cook dinner for the kids tonight. And they asked if I could bring 10 liters of oil for them. That would be helpful. So I picked up some oil for them and some lollipops for the kids, and we headed over. And I'll be honest, when I got there, I was a little bit nervous when you open the gate and you see children in wheelchairs, and there was a child who had some deformities. It definitely is intimidating and a little bit scary, but I'm glad I went. I had a very good time. Had a chance to speak to the social worker who works there, and he gave me a lot of information in regards to the daily schedule, how they receive their children. They actually have 17 kids there who live there. So this is a boarding facility. 4 of the kids do not have parents at all, so they are there year round. But the other 13 kids do have parents, at least one parent, and they sometimes go home on the weekends and get to spend the weekend at home with their families and then return on Monday. So I got to see the children. We played soccer with the one I played with the ones who were mobile, and just hung out and spent some time there. I have to say that the facilities were very nice. Every child has their own bed. It was very well maintained. There are 6 full-time volunteers to the 17 kids, and even the social worker is a volunteer, so none of them have a paid salary. And I asked the question, like, how do you live? How do you support yourself and, your own family? And the response was, we live off of donations. They, as um, the staff people, they have a wish list. So sometimes volunteers will come and, that wish list might be money, a monetary donation. Sometimes it's clothes. Sometimes it's food. So they just put on their wish list what they need, and volunteers will sponsor something. So I'm definitely going to try and get something off of the wish list, both wish lists, one of the wish lists for the facility itself, so that they can continue to run, and then something for the staff there who's giving of themselves. The social worker who I spoke to has been working there for 5 years now, unpaid. He completed university and was looking for a job. And in the interim, while he was looking for a job, he said he'd do some volunteer work and then just never left. And you could tell how much he loves the kids. I watched him play with them. They were playing tag, and as nervous as I was walking in, is as assured as I left when I was leaving, because there's, again, like there's something about the kids in Africa, or I don't know if it's all of Africa, but certainly in Tanzania, where despite the disparities and the challenges that is faced, there is just a joy and a love that these people have, that is inspiring, right? So it was very nice to be able to witness the joy on the faces of these kids, despite their challenges. So that was great. Um, and my driver decided to stay because he saw I was nervous. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna drop you off and I'll be back in like an hour and a half to pick you up, and then we're gonna do the sunset hike that I had also scheduled with him. And I guess he must have seen how nervous I was when I walked in. He was like, "You need me to stay?" I was like, "Yeah." So he ended up staying with me. Um, and it's funny because on our drive there, we passed a big church, and I was just mentioning how impressed I was with how many men I see in Arusha who attend church services. And he was telling me that he doesn't go to church because oftentimes the pastors are just money hungry and telling you that you need to give 10% of your income to the church. And I was telling him that I do believe in tithing, and I believe that you will always have, like, God blesses us so that we can be a blessing to others. And he just felt like like, no, like, you shouldn't have to give it to the pastor wants it. And my philosophy on tithing is, yes, I do believe that we should give back. But I don't know that I know I don't necessarily give it specifically to the church. Like, I definitely give money to the church as well, but I don't give a full 10% to the church. I might give 5% to the church, but then I give through charitable organizations. So like today, for example, going to the this facility for the children with disabilities, I made a donation there, and I believe that God sees that. And what I loved about that conversation was after the visit there, while we were driving to the sunset hike, he mentioned to me, like, I'm so happy that we had that conversation, because now I understand that I don't have to give it to the church, and I can still give. Like, I'm going to start giving to this place, even if it's like a bag of rice a week. Then it makes a difference, and I know I'm helping somebody else, and I can see the results of the donation that I'm making. So I was really happy that he walked away with coming to that realization. And funny enough, he also had a good time because he was right there playing soccer with us. So that was a good time. Then we headed out for our sunset hike. And again, another thing that I was supposed to do with some other volunteers that just didn't work out. So I ended up doing it just with myself and the driver. And you know what? I'm glad that I did. First of all, I'm realizing I'm a loner and it's okay. I don't necessarily need a large number of people around me. I've always been that way. I prefer, to keep my circle tight. It's difficult for me to trust. And I it's okay. Like, I feel like sometimes society makes it that we have to have a lot of friends or we have to be in a big group, and I don't buy the hype. I'm totally okay with being with one or two people, and I'm satisfied with that. I'm fulfilled with that. So I was happy that I did it. especially because I'm not in, like my prime shape, right? I'm not in the best shape. And so I need to go at my pace and what is comfortable for me. And it was scary, like going up this huge mountain is very, very scary. You'll see how far up we were and how far down the car was where we were parked and how far we had to go up. But knowing that I did it was such an accomplishment to get to the top. And their tradition here is you take a couple of beers up to the top with you, so that when you make it to the top, you have like a little picnic and have a beer while you watch the sunset. Unfortunately, it was super cloudy, so we didn't get to really watch the sunset. The sun just set behind the clouds. But nonetheless, we made it up there, and I was super duper proud of myself because it was scary. I am afraid of heights, so going up there was a challenge for me, but I walk away with this message of do it even in your fear, right? Walk in your fear. Like I did not allow my fear to stop me. When somebody canceled on me, I still pushed forward. And I think that's just a life lesson in general. Like we can't let things stop us. We have to do it alone. We have to do it even when we're afraid. We have to do it even when we're tired, right? It's just about pushing through and getting things done. So I feel great today, honestly. Very accomplished that I was able to complete this hike to the top of this mountain, and it was so scary. But I did it, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm proud of the work that I'm doing here. I'm feeling so fulfilled, and again, so blessed and grateful to be able to have this experience. So that is my update for today. After hiking, we went and we got some local chicken. It was delicious. We earned it. And I'm back here. But it was a great day. A little bit sad as I count down my last few days here in Arusha. But I know it has been time well spent. And my baby is back home waiting for me, and I can't wait to see his little face. He already told me that, he knows the party is over. Party done, mommy back, right? Dishes need to be washed, clothes need to be folded. I'm coming back to you, Robert. Get ready. But that is all for today. Hope everyone is doing well, and I will update you again soon.